Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Another money making method today. This one is thanks to a subscriber of mine and PSN friend of mine called Stoff, who messaged me on PSN the other day out of the blue and said, look, can you get a tune working for Sardinia with the GT3 Ferrari? And at first I thought, well, it's kind of obvious, it's on par with the other GT3s. However, then I thought, you know what, there is higher tyre deg, there is damage, it's kind of changed up how you work these cars. So I thought, you know what, let's go and have a look and let's see if I can get a working tune and method for the Ferrari at Sardinia. Now, if you want to buy this car for yourself, it's in the Ferrari dealer for 450,000 credits. It's actually a very enjoyable GT3 car to use. Definitely one of my favorites just for the look, the sound, and the fact that it's a Ferrari. So that's always going to be cool. And yeah, so go ahead, go to the Ferrari dealer and go and pick it up for yourself and give it a test. It's kind of a love it or hate it machine. You'll either love the way it drives or you'll absolutely, hate it. So the livery we're using for this video is an awesome colour shifting purple and black number. I think it looks absolutely awesome. Really looks like a an official car. Most Ferraris I want to kind of keep red, but this one I wanted to do something a little bit special for. So go ahead and look up Roll Cage. He is the curator of this one, and go ahead and pick that livery up. I don't think it affects your performance points, so it isn't a must. I just like to shout out the guys that design the liveries. So here's the tune for this one, pretty straightforward. You're going to run the racing hard tyres. That is the only compound of tyres you need. They will come on the car as standard, so just go ahead and use those. You won't have to go and mess about with softs or mediums. Body height at the front is 55, at the rear it is 60. Anti-roll bar will be next, and at the front you want to run 5 and 5 again at the rear. Dampening ratio compression is 30 and 30. Dampening ratio expansion is 40 and 40. Natural frequency is 3.40 and 3.40. Negative camber angle up next is 0.5 and 1.5. Toe angle at the front 0.05 outwards. And then at the rear is 0.15 inwards, so just double check those icons. Initial torque is 15. Acceleration sensitivity, that is 25, and braking sensitivity last off is 40. We are running the fully customizable racing transmission, so ensure you go ahead and purchase that. I've set it to 300. You will not need to make manual adjustments to it. Fully customizable ECUs on. We are not limiting the output of this car. Downforce, I recommend a high downforce setup. So at the front I've gone 450 and at the rear I've gone 650 to the max, just to tackle that kind of back end of Sardinia. We're running the high RPM turbocharger. None of the other bits need changing for this car. Feel free to pause at any moment. So this is for the new players that might not have done this before. Go ahead and enter into Europe. It's the Sardinia road track in Italy, and then you want to enter the World Touring Car 800 event. So just go ahead and enter this event. So in terms of strategy, it's really kind of shifted up Sardinia, obviously with the new tyre deg and the extra damage. It's kind of really awkward to run. It's definitely not as clean and cut as it used to be. In terms of power, we're actually going to have a power advantage over the other Group 3s. We are going to run the car at lean fuel, so fuel mix 6. This is to basically do a longer stint to begin with. We're going to make this a 2-stop race. I found this was the most comfortable way to get the tyres to work and the most comfortable way to kind of get your lap times down in the middle of the race. So we're just basically going to use all of the road to do our overtakes. We're going to be a lot more careful than we used to do, because if you tap a car, you will take damage, and sometimes it can really affect how the car handles. So we are running in lower fuel mode, so we're not going to be ridiculously overpowered in these early stages. However, we are still faster than the other Group 3s. You're going to see me try and go to the right hand side of the Alpha here, who's going to press me up against the wall. I'm actually going to take some damage really early on. I'm not actually going to take any more damage throughout the race, I don't believe. So it's just that little bit moment. As you can see, the car's going to move around a lot more. It's going to affect how the car feels, obviously taking damage to the right hand side tyre. So just be very careful. It is very tight up this top end. That's why I recommend running a lot of downforce to kind of tackle through here as fast as you can. and work your way up through the pack. As I said, you will have a natural speed advantage over the rest. Now if you see a pack like this, just be very careful and wait back. Sadly, Sardinia just isn't as fast as it used to be. In fact, none of the grinding tracks are, obviously apart from the Tomahawk, which is currently back. That is the literal fastest way, but you know, we build cars here for all sorts of situations. Some people don't like Tokyo and want to just run Sardinia because it's very kind of more basic than the others, but again, it does require you to be a lot more kind of laid back and not as aggressive at the start. So there we go, that is lap 1 complete, and you can see the massive speed advantage we had there down the straight. By the start of lap 4, I was currently on the back of Portilla. As you can see, this is a little change in the from update 1.20, is Fraga will pit first. So the Brazilian, and I believe he's in a Supra during this race, will actually pit before Portilla, and that, you know, it's just kind of weird. I thought it was a nice little addition to kind of add, that they are currently, you know, always kind of changing it up. I believe that may be due to the higher tyre degradation. I believe he runs soft quite early on. You're then going to basically make your move against the leader. At this point, you will never need to worry about the AI again. It's all about basically lapping them from here. Portilla will pit at the end of lap 4, and just a heads up, I recommend running this in easy difficulty, and the only way you'll lose your clean race bonus is actually under yellow flag conditions. So if you see a yellow flag, do not overtake, hold your position. On the end of their 5th lap, as we are currently on our 6th lap, the rest of the AI will box in, so just be prepared that they will pit in, and there is a possibility if you are fast enough you will catch them coming back out the pits, so just be very mindful. I will basically go into more detail with that later on. At the end of lap 6 though, we are going to box in for our first of 2 pit stops this race. Now, obviously we are only going to run the hard tyres this whole race, so go ahead, switch tyres to the another new set of hards, and then fill the car to full. Sadly, you can't really do this on a 1-stop. I was personally hoping I could try and do it on a 1-stop, but the fuel tank is just not big enough, and if I were to do basically a lot of lifting and coasting, then there's almost no advantage to using this car, and it's just basically going to cause my lap times to just plummet. In general, the lap times are okay. You'll average about a 141 in fuel mix 6. You can get up to about a 137, 138 when you turn the engine up. After this first pit stop though, you're going to go into a sprint, so turn the engine up between power mix 1 and power mix 3 and just ensure that it lasts a couple more laps. After doing some good running about, we got a fastest lap of 138.303. We're going to box at the end of lap 10, just ensuring that we've got just enough fuel left in the tank. And essentially what we're going to do here is pop another set of hard tyres on, because obviously we've took a lot of life out of those while pushing the car to its maximum. Then we're going to fill the fuel tank all the way to full. Ignore that little diamond notch bit, because it lies to you. Most of the time you will find yourself stuck in the middle of the track with basically no fuel left in the tank. So I recommend here just taking a full tank of fuel. After this, we're going to go back into our more laid back approach, so we're basically going to turn the car down to fuel mix 6 in its lean mode, and basically drive all the way to the end of the race. Just keep an eye out, because sometimes the AI will come absolutely bombing down the pit lane, and they will be more than happy to take you out. So on lap 11, I got stuck in a big pack of traffic. Now, this is what I mean by the AI. They'll either come out the pits really quick and act like you're not there, or they will basically, you know, if you are coming out the pits, they'll go into the back of you. As you can see, they'll just come straight onto the racing line, and it's all down to you to avoid them. I believe it's happened to a lot of people. I see comments all the time about the pit line AI at Sardinia, so really just be careful with them. So as we round our last lap, in terms of pace, it's actually not too bad for an update 1.20 or update 1.21 build. In terms of how it runs, it's got pace if you run it faster. However, the tyre deg is definitely more pronounced, so it does require us to do an extra pit. So overall we did a 26 minutes 30.467 with a fastest lap on lap 9 of a 138.303. So definitely a more kind of enjoyable method. I feel like, you know, sometimes just using a group 3 car, I know it's kind of what the AI use, it's just genuine fun. So I hope this helps you out, Stoff. I really do hope I've kind of answered your question on how to run Sardinia. I hope I've given you a decent tune that kind of suits your driving style. So, you know, thank you very much for the recommendation. So this is going to be the end of the video. I want to thank Stoff for sending the message and basically just giving me the idea. I really do genuinely hope I helped you out. Thank you to our channel members. If you do want to become a channel member, there should be a button somewhere. I post Gran Turismo 7 content each and every day, from tuning guides, multiplayer races, open lobbies, all sorts really. Basically everything at Gran Turismo 7, as well as other racing games. If you want to donate, donation links are in the bio or description, whatever you want to call it, down below. Seriously, massive thank you for the support. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Turn those notifications on so you never miss an upload by myself. Again, I mostly upload around about 4 p.m. and around about 10 a.m. Each day. That is obviously for my time, which is British summertime currently. So I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye guys. Peace.